welcome to the Arkaik Fibres podcast, a podcast about knitting and crochet hosted by me, Jillian. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today we are going yarn shopping. I'll be taking you to Berkeley, California to a local yarn shop called the Black Squirrel. I'll show you what I picked up, some finished objects, what I'm working on, so make sure you grab your knitting needles or your crochet hooks and let's get started. But if you're new here, I live in Northern California with my husband and dog Benny. I love everything yarn related and I hope you stay for my yarn journey. So I've been wanting to go to the Black Squirrel yarn shop for the past 2 months, and today I decided to hop on the train down to Berkeley, California. I took the Amtrak, which took about an hour and 20 minutes, but it was so worth it. The yarn store was so beautiful. They had yarns I can only dream of, and everyone was so kind and welcoming. When you walk in, they had a huge display of yarn focused on US-based women, BIPOC, and queer dyers. They even had summer-friendly yarns, which you know is right up my alley, as well as a place to knit at. So a little bit about Black Squirrel is they launched an online campaign to open an online store back in 2015, and a year later opened their first brick-and-mortar store. They specialize in hand-dyed indie dyers as well as BIPOC, queer, as well as women-based dyers. They focus on working with sustainable companies as well as promoting a safe, welcoming, and inclusive environment in their yarn store. They have so many indie dyers displayed, some including Nerd String, Ancestral Fibers, The Wandering Flock, Farmer's Daughter, and The Lemonade Shop. They carry a wide range of notions, tools, books, they host classes, and you can even shop online even if you're not local to them. So definitely check out their Instagram, Facebook, and I'll also include their website down below so you can get shopping today. So my first skein is Malabrigo sock yarn, and I actually got this to gift to my friend who knitted her first pair of socks. I think she said her favorite color is teal, and this is a very beautiful tonal teal. There's light teal colors, turquoise colors in here, and this one is machine washable. It is kettle dyed. Its fingering weight 440 yards. So hopefully she likes it. I already sent her a picture of this, but it's very soft and luxurious. So the next skeins that I picked up are from Arkaik Fibres. This is fingering in the colorway Lemon Eyes, and there are 430 yards in each skein. So definitely hefty in the yardage, and this is going to be for me. I think this might be a second ranunculus, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So a little bit about Arkaik Fibres. Its home base is located in Reno, Nevada by queer dyer Jay. He says that his colorways are based on album covers, film, as well as literature. So what drew me to this color is the gold. I have never knit with gold before, as well as the tweed bits found within this. And I think that I want to make a second ranunculus just because I'm really enjoying that project right now. I love how it's working up in the fingering way, and I really enjoy the yardage that's in these skeins. So let's see how this comes out. So the next two skeins that I picked up are from Universal Yarn, and this is Cotton DK, 100% cotton, and it's extremely soft. I'm really loving the green color. I think it's gonna look great on me, and this might be a crochet top. But a little bit about Universal Yarn. Their home base is located in North Carolina, and they focus on inclusivity, having patterns that are size inclusive, as well as a wide range of representation, whether it comes to yarn, dyers, or pattern makers. So one thing that I appreciate from learning about them on their website is that they do donate to 3 charities in North Carolina, specifically for children in Charlotte. So if you want to learn more about them or even purchase their yarn, I'll also include their information down below. But yeah, I'm loving this color. I'm loving the vibrancy. I think I was in a early spring type of mood because look at these colors. These are definitely not colors that I'm normally drawn to. Don't get me wrong, I definitely wanted to buy all the pinks and all the purples, but I've been doing that so much last year, and I want to spice up the color range that I have coming into 2023. So let's talk about finished objects. I'm actually wearing one that you haven't even seen yet, but this is the Sleeve Island sweater by Gopwani from Off the Hook Crochet Nook. I found this pattern completely by accident. When I was editing last week's video, I was trying to find a funny picture of Sleeve Island because I was talking about a sweater that I got stuck on Sleeve Island. And when I searched pictures of Sleeve Island, I couldn't find one, but I saw this pattern. So I clicked it, I found it, and I thought it was just so cute. So this actually uses fingering weight yarn, and it asks for a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, one that I did not have. So I said hopefully I have a 5 hook that might work or a 4 millimeter hook that might work. So I did a gauge swatch for both, and the 4 millimeter hook actually worked for me. So this is the swatch that I made with the 4 millimeter hook, and I loved how it draped. I loved the fabric of it, and it did me gauge after blocking it. Originally it didn't, but once I wet blocked it, it did. So I decided to move forward, and this is the yarn that I purchased in Spain. It didn't have any label. I have no idea what the content is. I'm assuming it's cotton yarn because it does have that cotton feel, but good thing it was fingering because it did meet gauge when I did the gauge swatch. So this piece is crocheted with a front panel, a back panel. Once you seam everything up, then you make one balloon sleeve. And so this is the first time that I have ever done a balloon sleeve, knit or crochet, and I really like it. It's very comfy. The only thing that I would say is a downside to this pattern is there aren't any measurements. There aren't any clear instructions as to when to stop or how many rows to make. The pattern designer makes it based off her body measurements and gives you a rough estimate of how many chains she started with, as well as how many rows she crocheted up to, but you kind of have to alter it and make that decision from your own body. The benefit of it was I was able to see based off her crochet stitches. She cast on 65 crochet stitches. When I did that, it worked for me. So I kind of used what she used in her pattern, but if you are a smaller size or a bigger size, there isn't any clear instructions for that. She does say that you can email her if you're having trouble figuring out your body size. It was kind of intuitive, but if you're looking for clear, direct numbers, direct instructions, specific amount of rows, that's not what this pattern is going to give you. It is free, however, and if you're up for the challenge, I definitely think it's not something that's hard. You just have to have a little bit of patience, because even when I crocheted to the part where she did, I still needed to add about 10 more rows because the shoulder to the underarm part was too tight for me. Believe it or not, this only took me 4 days to make, which is crazy, and I wasn't even working on it for hours at a time. I was working on it after work. But overall, I love it. I'll include some pictures of me wearing it, but this is definitely going to be a early spring into summer piece since it is cotton and so airy. I can't really wear it now, sadly, but I am gonna build up my summer collection now so I can start wearing them once it starts heating up here in California. As for my next finished object, if you watched my last week's video, you probably have seen this already, but I finished the Trilo tee by Sachiko Burgin. I'll also include pictures of me wearing it here since this is not a great angle. So after wearing it for a week, I definitely agree on the short rolls. Sometimes the shirt rises up to my neck and I have to pull it down a little bit. So I think if it incorporated short rolls, it would be a little bit more comfier. But overall, I still really enjoy wearing it. I think I wore it like 3 times this week. It is surprisingly warm. Even though it's thin and it was lace weight, I can find myself heating up depending on how hot it is outside. But I definitely see a second one of these in my future. But let's jump into works in progress. I actually had to take a pause on working on my ranunculus because it was working up so fast. I'm using fingering weight yarn on US 10s, and so this is how it's looking right now. And I already went through the increasing and the pattern design. I'm in stockinette territory, and where you see the stitch marker is from the start to right there, I think I did that in 3 days. And I said this sweater is going too fast. I really want to enjoy it and enjoy the process and have memories associated with it rather than just a product that I'm producing way too fast. And I finally can see what the hype is about when it comes to this pattern. This is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, and I really love it. I love the color. Even when I was at the yarn store, I was knitting on this and they were like, what yarn is that? It looks so beautiful. Your gauge is so beautiful. The only thing is I think that I was messing up on the amount of stitches that I had, and so the pattern repeat, the pattern element design is a little bit off. I thought about ripping out, but I said this is my first ranunculus. It looks cute. We're gonna keep going. But I love it. I love how it looks. I wish I can try it on for you, but I can't because these stitches, this needle just doesn't go around my body. I would have to get another pair of needles. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. The way I'm working on this, I'll probably be finished by next week, but I'm ready to finish this and then cast on something soon. So I'm gonna let you go. I have a lot of knitting and crocheting to do. I am definitely inspired, and comment down below what you're working on because maybe I will cast that on next. I hope that you and your family are happy, healthy, and safe. I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye. If you're let me do that again. Dude, I'm recording. The notes. This is the notes time. I feel like I can't get my words out. I want to do this one again. Why is this so hard today?